Alright, so we're looking at this Walboro HDC carburetor off a Homelite 360, and it's not pulling fuel. So let's go ahead and start tearing it apart. Let's investigate why it might not be pulling fuel and then go from there. It could just be a simple plug, you know what I mean? It could just be plugged up. So let's start tearing into this and see if we can figure out what's going on. All right, so here's the diaphragm on the carburetor, and it's stiff is what's going on. So take a look. You see how it barely wants to move? This would be the reason it's not pumping fuel. So that diaphragm is supposed to be really, really soft. Let me show you this one here. This is a new one. You see how easily it moves around? It's very flexible. You see that? This one here is very, very stiff. So, and there's another one on this side. So that's probably the reason. These are what pump the fuel from the carb. Is the two together work, you know, the two sides work together. But that's probably why I'm not pulling any fuel. Take a look in there. This is gonna need some cleaning. That's the old fuel that's been sitting in there. So I wanted to show you this side here. Take a look in there. See that? Pretty gooey, isn't it? It's thick. All right, so I got it disassembled. Right there, see that screen? That big hole there is where the screen goes. I got it out. So there it is, it's soaking away. Just a little tip, if you use this method of soaking, when you put the carburetor in, flip it around, shake it a bunch of times, and just keep doing that because there's air bubbles in it and you want to make sure you get all the air bubbles out. Okay, just a little trick there. Just keep stirring it and shaking it to get all the air bubbles out. Okay, now you don't have to go buy a special cleaner. I don't. This is what I use. That's how I do all my carburetors. So every time you see me rebuild a carburetor, that's what I'm using. Every time. Now it's just a waiting game. I'm going to leave this sit here for 24 hours before I pull it out. It doesn't take 24 hours usually, but that's usually how long I let it sit. So right after I shot that, I realized I forgot to pull the plate out. So there's the plate removed. If you remember seeing that. You can see the gasket, how it looks. But I'm going to go ahead and get it back in the soaker. So, yeah, I forgot to remove the metering plate. So I got an interesting one for you. And I had an issue when cleaning it. The metering lever, the plate here, this plate, so the gasket was stuck to it. It was actually stuck to the carb side. And it seemed like it was glued in place because there was nothing, it was not coming out. So I ended up letting it soak for 2 full days, 48 hours. And after that amount of time, the gasket softened up enough to come out. All right, so that's everything with a thin coat of oil on it. You can see. Now, you can actually rinse the oil back off. I might do it to this one. I don't always. After you leave it soak for a while, the oil kind of like soaks into the pores. You probably know what I'm talking about. You get oil in your hands. If you just rinse it with water, you can still feel it there. And sometimes I do that, but sometimes I don't. First thing's this. Which way does it go? I think maybe that away. See how it does? They got pins there. Make it idiot proof for people like me. How's that look to you? Let's put this on. There it is, all done. I forgot to put the screen in for the fuel inlet, so I had to take that back off, put it in. But otherwise, we're done. Next step is install and start, and see if she tunes up. Make sure I got that metering lever right. Alrighty. As long as everything tunes up like it should, that'll tell me that the metering lever is right. The only thing I'm sad about is it did not come with a new gasket like this, so I'm gonna have to reuse this one. Alrighty, so on to the next part. Alright, so car's rebuilt, it's installed. Let's give this another try. I don't know the exact setting for the metering lever, so everything I found just said to use this special tool. So I took an educated guess. So I might have the metering lever off, but let's find out if she runs. Alrighty, the last time. Let's see what she looks like. See if she's starting to pull fuel. It does appear to be pulling fuel. I'll just leave this off. Give it a little more choke. Back to half choke. Okay, I got it flooded. Definitely flooded. There's fuel coming out the muffler. You know what? I have the tools here. Let's unflood it. Lots of fuel pouring out of the muffler right now. Let's pull the spark plug out again. Completely soaked spark plug. So that would be a metering lever issue. My educated guess on the metering lever is off. So I'll have to do some tweaks. Alrighty, so I lowered the metering lever. Part of me feels like I took it too far. Like I feel like it shouldn't work like this, but let's find out, you know? Sometimes my judgment is off. So I'm going to try it the way I got it set now, and then we'll figure it out from there. So now the gas smells really bad, like 10 years old bad. I did not clean the gas tank out and it was filthy inside. So whenever I put new gas in there, it's probably soaking up all that filth that's been in there all these years. That's probably why the gas smells so bad. I could empty it out and put fresh in, but I'm not. I'm just gonna run it. It'll probably smoke a bit because of that, but after I run a tank or two out, it should clear right up. But let's give it a try like this and see what happens. Alrighty, choke's on, we're ready to go. See what happens. We got a putt. So she's running, but not very good, is it? Still some tweaking to do. Everything, all the settings keep changing on me. Like as I go, it's like everything's changing. So I'm pretty certain I still got an air leak somewhere. I'll have to figure that out. But the only gasket I didn't change is between the carburetor and the intake boot. Whether that's a problem or not, I don't know. I have a feeling it's actually the metering lever. I think I'm still a little off on it. I think I might have taken it just a smidge too far. So we'll do a couple little tweaks here. I'll get online and start searching and see if I can figure out the exact measurement that metering lever is supposed to be at. And hopefully the next time you see this thing running, it's running right. And we'll be able to tune it up properly. But there we go. She's running one step closer. So I was just reviewing some video here, and it was running good up until I put the cover over the air cleaner. So there might be something else going on there. I think that might be the intake gasket, because the bolts to hold the carburetor also hold the air cleaner. And whenever I torqued it down, it might have put just enough force on the carburetor to open that gasket up to cause an air leak. I think that might be my problem. Because that gasket's horrible looking. I might just make a new gasket. But it's literally on the verge of raining on me, so I'm gonna have to hang it up today. So till next time, we're closer, but it's a good day though. We got it running.
Welcome to our third world.